Hello and welcome to this edition of the Indiana State Police Public Information Program. I'm your host, Sergeant Dave Burston, Public Information Officer for the Indiana State Police at the Indianapolis Post. Today we've got a very interesting program for you. We're coming up into the summer season. Children will be out riding their bicycles, and bicycle safety is on the foremost of everybody's mind. So stay tuned. I think you'll enjoy it. Watch this message first.
Uh-oh, Vince. They're really cracking down on safety belts these days.
What's up, officer?
I'm giving you a ticket for committing an 811.
Safety belt violation.
Compliments of Barney Fife.
We never wear safety belts. We're dummies.
Weisenheimers.
He gave us a ticket.
Man's got to do what he's got to do.
Plant a tree for your tomorrow.
In 1872, J. Sterling Morton gave the world a great idea.
Plant a tree, trees for America.
He created a holiday unlike any other, Arbor Day.
Taste the breezes, life inside you. Make a promise to the earth.
This year, the Arbor Day Foundation invites you to plant trees for America.
That was your driver's license. Car and your cash. Your best friend. Your freedom. Oh, and then there's you. Wear a safety belt and don't drink and drive. The police will nail you and getting busted bites.
You are 100% unadulterated energy. You have no choice but movement. You aren't acted on. You are action. You have the power to make the world a better place. You already know how to do it. Volunteer now for the American Red Cross. Call your local chapter for details.
Hello and welcome to the program. We're going to be talking about bicycle safety. We are coming into the summer months. The kids are going to be out riding around. I think all parents are concerned with the safety of their children, so that's what we'll be talking about. But first, let's introduce our guests. We have two people that have taken time from their schedule to be with us. We have Tamara Walker, who is the Communication Coordinator for the Insurance Institute of Indiana. And we also have with us Tom Danoon, who is Vice President for the Monroe Guarantee Insurance Company. Tamara, Tom, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dave. Good to be here.
It's great to have you here and looking forward to what we're going to be talking about on bicycle safety. But first, I'd like to let our viewers learn a little bit about each of you and Tamara, since you're sitting closest to me here. Let's talk about what you do with the Insurance Institute of Indiana.
Well, the Insurance Institute of Indiana is the state trade association for the property casualty insurance industry here in Indiana. And the Institute focuses on two areas. The main focus is lobbying, but then we also have a very active PR department, and that's where I come into play. And the Institute hosts an annual bicycle helmet safety poster contest.
Which is what we're going to be talking about today. Now, what other type of public relations things is the Insurance Institute involved in?
Well, the Institute is beginning to get involved with other state trade associations in insurance consumer reports. And these are short news segments that are aired during newscasts to inform our viewers about ways that they can better protect themselves and their homes against weather, driving conditions, and things of that sort.
So some basic safety tips and things that we probably know, but people forget. It just brings it back to your attention.
Yes, just a healthy reminder.
And we can all use those occasionally.
That's right.
Now, Tom, I'm interested to hear what a large insurance company such as Monroe Guarantee is involved in a program like this, and what is your involvement?
The Monroe Guarantee Insurance Company is indeed a prominent company. We specialize in writing commercial insurance in the state of Indiana and the surrounding states. But we have joined the Insurance Institute because they are such a vital force in lobbying for us. They're interested in so many things that we're also interested in, like safety and life safety and public safety. And we're very big in those. We have a loss control department that participates quite well with our customers to make places of business more safe.
And I'm sure, because a lot of people can be cynical and they think, oh, well, it's a dollar and cents issue, which I'm sure that's very much a part of it, but I don't think anyone likes to see a child that's been injured or much worse or killed because of a silly accident, something that could have been prevented, like bicycle safety.
Exactly. We're foursquare behind anything that can prevent a loss, because when you prevent a loss, you prevent all that other anguish that goes with it, not only the dollars that it takes to make people well.
Tom, in talking about the bicycle safety and the helmet safety poster contest, is this the first year that Monroe Guarantee's been involved with this?
No, we've been involved with this since its inception, and the bicycle safety part of this has been going on for 6 years, but we've been involved much longer than that with the Institute. It is a very good program, we think, and we are foursquare behind this. We donate a lot of time and effort into it, in fact, money too.
So, well, and it's all for the good cause, for the safety of our
Yes.
kids. Now, Tom, getting into our subject here a little bit, bicycle riding is really a popular sport for all ages. What do you think has caused this surge in popularity?
I think that probably publicity and the fact that there are more really fine bicycles out there. I know when I was a kid we had sod cutters, we called them, and they were kind of juxtaposition built from scraps of other bicycles, but now there are fine bicycles and it's a great way to tour. There are bicycle paths. It's easier for people to get out and ride bicycles now. Families do it for recreation, and of course the summertime is really the big time for bicycle riding.
And a lot of people are even concerned with the health aspects of it, as I think you mentioned, just being able to get out, time to spend with the family.
Indeed.
And it makes for some nice recreation, especially in some of the fine parks that we have across the state. Now, when we come back, we're going to be talking about the most common type of injury. But first, please stay tuned to these upcoming messages, and we'll be back with you in just a couple of minutes.
Drunk driving doesn't just kill drunk drivers. Next time your friend insists on driving drunk, do whatever it takes to stop him.
Hold on to dear life.
We were on vacation at Lake Tahoe.
And every precious smile.
I was driving home and I fell asleep. I remember just wondering when we were going to stop rolling. When we finally did, I said, where's McKay? And my husband said, he's in his car seat. He was safe.
Hold on to dear life.
Someone once said, we all come into this world alone, and we leave the same way. But in between, we have the chance to connect and help each other, to find ways you can do something to connect with the people in your community, called the Points of Light Foundation. Do something good. Feel something real.
Where's Michael?
National Guard duty.
Ah, bet he's just sandbagging.
I don't think so.
Sure he is. He left us with all the big fires to put out.
Over 52% of our military is made up of the National Guard and Reserve. They serve in times of war and in times of disaster. And the jobs they perform are hard enough, without you making it harder.
Well, let's hope he's ready for some late nights when he gets back.
Please support your employees in the National Guard and Reserve.
Hello and welcome back to the program. During the break we were just having a discussion here, and Tom, you've got some interesting information to share as far as what the most common type of bicycle injury there is.
By far and away the most common bicycle injury is a head injury, and it's probably obvious that when the bike falls you tumble, or if you get struck your head is very vulnerable. So they are by far and away the most common cause of injury. Roughly 1,300 people in the past year have died in the United States as a result of bicycle head injuries, falling off of bicycles. And about 85% of those deaths could have been prevented had people worn bicycle safety helmets. and about 88% of those people could have avoided brain injury, even if they did have a head injury, if they would have been wearing a helmet. Very important to wear helmets.
What do you have, and we hadn't talked about it, so I'm putting you on the spot here, do you have some specific information as far as Indiana is related, as far as injuries? Or?
I don't, and there is no way that we've been able to gather specific stats for Indiana, which also makes me believe that maybe the 1,300 is a low estimate rather than a high one, because it's possible that every time a kid falls off the bicycle and goes to a med check, it doesn't get turned in or reported as a bicycle injury. They tried to gather deaths, and we picked up the death information from an organization in Pennsylvania that captures that information. But
and then kind of extrapolate the information out from there. So, because I'm sure that if there are parents watching the program, and I look back to the times when I was riding my bicycle, and now the bicycles are a lot fancier now, like you mentioned before when we were talking earlier. I know my first bicycle didn't have multiple gears. It had the coaster brakes, and I remember the chain coming off one time, and then you have no brakes, and I ran into the side of a car. Now it was parked, but I didn't have a helmet on. I fortunately was not hurt very severely, although enough that I've always remembered that incident, and they happen, and people don't think they're going to.
I had a similar experience on my way. I went to Tech High School for the first 2 years of my high school training, and I was on my way down 10th Street, which was a route from my house to Tech, and I was looking at some girl, as a matter of fact, waiting on a bus, and I ran into the back end of a parked car and went over the handlebars and onto the trunk, and didn't hurt myself, but I was just very, 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 very
And never
lucky.
got a date with her either.
No.
Right? So. Now, Tammy, when we look at some of these issues, and it's good that we can laugh about a little bit of it, but it is a serious topic. But with the Insurance Institute of Indiana being an advocate in this issue, how do you promote the points that you're concerned about?
Well, as I said earlier, we sponsor the Bicycle Helmet Safety Poster Contest, and that is a contest for students in grades 1st through 6th, and all they have to do is be as creative as possible and draw a poster with the message of always wear a bicycle helmet whenever you go bicycle riding.
Now, when a kid, how do the kids find out about this program? How do they know about it?
Well, every month in February we send out a packet of information. It's about 6 or 7 pages to the principals of all the elementary schools in the state. And really it's a principal's responsibility to then pass that information on to the students or to the kids to let them know about entering into the contest and the awards that they can receive. And what we found out from a lot of teachers is that the art teachers make this an art lesson. And then a lot of times classroom teachers make it an entire program about bicycle safety. So it's really helping.
Dual purpose.
Yes.
About how many entries do you end up with?
Well, this is the 6th year the contest has been going on, and in those 6 years we've had over 21,000 kids participate. And in this year alone, we've had nearly 3,000.
So about 3,000 kids, and that's from all. That's primarily grades 1 through 6.
6, yes,
okay,
all over the state.
So now, when we come back from our next break, we actually have the winners for grades 1 through 6, and we're going to show those posters and let you and Tom tell it a little bit about what's involved in making those.
Yes.
So it's neat to see something where you're actually involving the children. That they are able to participate, and the teachers are making it into a learning atmosphere for them. So you're going to continue doing this, right?
Yes.
Done it for 6 years,
Yes.
we'll do it for many more.
It gets bigger every year. It gets bigger. We've given away more bicycles this year than we have ever before. We gave 6 bicycles this year. So
good.
And
Well, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back, and we're going to show those posters. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
If you're not wearing a seatbelt in an accident, here's what you get. You get to hit the inside of your car. You get to suffer massive fractures and lacerations, ride in an ambulance, and listen to people talk about you. You'll be pushed around on a gurney and tour a hospital. What do you think so far? Wait, don't answer. There's more. You'll be cited for not wearing a seatbelt. You'll lose time from work, watch your insurance rates go up, and pay enormous medical bills. As an extra bonus, you might be permanently injured or disfigured. Wearing a seatbelt in Indiana. It's time we take it seriously.
You don't need algebra, geometry, and calculus to get this job. Now, if that doesn't convince you to take math courses, I don't know what will. Call NACME. We'll tell you what you need to do.
And here comes Chris Hill, 4'6" out of Jefferson Elementary, a confident young man with a great stride, but he might be in trouble now.
Hey, Chris. Wanna get high? No way, man. That stuff's for losers.
Oh, what a move! Chris Hill never hesitates, just blows past that guy. Bob?
You're right, Mike. Look, Chris is known for his great head shake. Then he shifts his weight to the right foot, finds a hole, and zip, he's out of there.
Spectacular, just spectacular. This kid's got a bright future.
Chemistry class led me to a life of crime. I catch murderers, rapists, and thieves with a microscope. Help your daughter become a scientist. Instead of a tea set, get her a chemistry set. Look at the boring job I got from being a science nerd. Expect the best from a girl. That's what you'll get.
Hello and welcome back to the program. Now I hope you've taken a minute here to gather any young ones that you have around so they can enter in the contest next year. We're going to start out. This was our first place, actually, first grade winner. This is Kevin Flynn, who is 7 years old, and Kevin is from Bloomfield, Indiana. Now Tammy, can you tell us what Kevin's done here?
Well, at the top he has the title, Bicycle Helmet Safety, Why Should You Wear a Bicycle Helmet? And this was very creative for a first grader, because then he has to stay alive plus to not get hurt equals for a safe ride. So very, very creative.
So we got art, we got math, and we got the message.
That's right.
Now let's go to this is our second grade winner, and this is from Trenton Hensler, who's 8 years old, and Trenton is from Walcott, Indiana. Now, Tom, you made this award?
I went to Walcott and made the award, presented a bicycle and his helmet, and did a little program with the kids. Trenton drew a helmet that just says helmet safety. He copied the American Express logo. It says don't leave home without it, which is really cool. You know?
So you can't
imaginative.
Say TV doesn't influence them, right?
Does influence them.
Okay. And let's move on to, we now have, this is our third grade winner, and this is from Emily Bain, who's 9 years old, and Emily is from Wabash, Indiana. And Tammy, what's this one about?
Well, here at the top, Emily has, we want you, but not too soon, and it has, on a cloud, it has angels. So she's saying that we want you to stay alive and, you know, for a very long time. And then she has a world that actually is wearing a helmet, and it shows a couple of bicycle riders going around the world, and then at the end it says wear a helmet.
Wonder if Emily Watts is touched by an angel,
I know.
perhaps. Maybe?
It could have been her inspiration.
So, and now we have our fourth grade winner, and this is from Chelsea Christoffel, who's 11 years old, and she is from Columbus, Indiana.
You were at that presentation, Tammy.
Tammy, you
Yes.
did one?
Yes, this was very, very colorful and really caught our attention right at the beginning. And it has a girl that says, wear a helmet, not an attitude. And then she's wearing a necklace and has a pleasant smile on her face. And when we presented the award, the mom made the comment that it's just the opposite of Chelsea because she does have an attitude. So, we'll see.
So maybe she was thinking how she'd like to be.
Yes, yes.
And now we're getting up to, this is our fifth grade award winner, and this was from Clayton Reber, and he is 11 years old, and he is from Marion, I
County.
believe, Marion County.
He's an Indianapolis winner.
Okay, that's why they didn't have the city.
Tammy and I were both present at this presentation. We did this at the awards when the fifth graders graduated to junior high. And we had our little presentation, presented a bike to Clayton. His mother and father and grandparents were there. His slogan says, be the best, and then he has safety helmet, not like the rest, inferring that if you don't wear your safety helmet, bad news for you. So
pretty good message.
Good imagination.
And now we come to the sixth grade winner, and this is from Jillian Grady, who is 12 years old, and she is from Anderson, Indiana. Tammy, what's Jillian done here?
Well, Jillian has a very nicely drawn bicycle, and then over it, it's kind of like a huge helmet. It's almost like an umbrella protecting the entire bicycle, but it says helmets are heroes. So promoting the message that helmets are our friends and that we definitely need to wear them.
Great. Well, that was very nice to see. Tom, we've got about 1 minute left before we need to go to break here, and what I'd like to know is how the I just lost my train of thought.
How the Insurance Institute got involved in this.
Thank you very much.
We had a member in our communications committee, and he had lost a daughter in a bicycle accident. She died of a brain injury, and we were looking for a cause to kind of sponsor and get involved with. So about 7 years ago we came up with the idea, and then actually put it into place 6 years ago when we came up with the bicycle safety poster contest, engaging youngsters in this production so that they can participate and have more safety awareness for it.
So it sounds from a personal tragedy making a positive
Indeed it was.
incident out of
Indeed it was.
It's good to hear how that came about. Please stay tuned. We're going to be right back. We've got lots more for you.
What a day for love. It's a day for love. What a day for love. It's a lovely day.
The 90s are not the 60s. In a world this dangerous, there's no such thing as a harmless drug. Talk to your kids about marijuana.
Only you
can prevent forest fire.
And it's true. We know we can count on you to do what Smoky says.
drown your campfires with water. Make sure it's totally wet. Then stir and drown again.
We know we can count on you to do what Smoky says.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Here's my nephew Scruff, about to run into trouble again.
Hey, Bobo, where's your video game? In here. Oh, look at this. Uh-oh. It's my dad's. I want to hold it. What'll I do?
If you get my new comic activity book, More Adventures with Scruff, you'll find out what you can do about bullies and guns. And you'll see lots of games.
Cool.
For your free copy of my new comic activity book, just write Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652, and help take a bite out of crime.
I want it. I want it.
You chose to ignore the speed limit. This is the next 60 minutes of your life.
It might hurt him just leave him there, okay?
I need to figure out a lot. I want to place you under the red.
Speeding gets you nowhere fast.
Hello and welcome back to the program. Well, again, I think it was very neat to see the posters that the kids had submitted and to learn about how the involvement began with Monroe Guarantee Insurance with this. And let's tell our listeners and our viewers a little bit about how they got judged. Now, I understand that these 3,000 entrants all came in the mail here to Indianapolis, so you had a room full of these?
Not quite, Dave.
Okay.
The schools did the first filtering process, and they sent us winning posters for each grade 1 through 6.
Okay.
So from all of the schools that entered, and not all of them did, those that entered, we grouped them then in first grade posters, second grade, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then we had our committee come in and...
well, that would have been quite a task if you'd had all the entries come
Yes.
in. So good.
Yes.
So the schools helped out with a little bit
The
of
walls were already covered with posters to be looked at.
I imagine so. So then the posters were judged here, and how did the winners get notified?
Well, the winners actually did not know until the actual presentation was made. We notified the principals, and the principals then in turn notified the parents. So the principal and the parents of the student have known for over a month, and they've had to keep this a secret. And then members of our communications committee, along with myself, would go out to the schools during their year-end awards program and present the bicycle and the safety helmet to the child. And so it was very fun every time because the child was very surprised and ecstatic when they found out what they won.
So they were pretty animated,
Yes.
I imagine.
Parents did a nice job of keeping this under their hat.
So the parents really did keep the secrets.
They really did.
Now, as part of the presentation of the bicycle, wasn't there a demonstration, something with a watermelon that you did?
Yes.
Yes. Well, first we interact with the kids. We ask them who rides bike or who wears helmets. We know who rides bikes. We ask them who wears helmets, trying to get information about jet pilots and football players and those obvious things they think of, and also get injected in their mind that people riding bicycles need helmets too. So we play that little game with them. And then we have a demonstration of a watermelon that's actually inserted into a safety helmet and dropped from waist height, and it crashes to the floor. And we were lucky; none of them broke. The helmets protected the watermelon.
Did their job.
We take the watermelon out and smooth it off and show them that the watermelon is intact. But then we drop it the second time without the helmet, and
again from waist high.
Waist high, and it just splats. And it's a very visual kind of program, but extremely well received by the children and
probably
parents.
after that watermelon hits the ground the second time, nobody's really interested in that watermelon anymore.
That's right.
So
the forks are put away.
now, in doing all this, I imagine that there are people that contribute the helmets, the bicycles. Who all is involved in this?
Well, many companies from the insurance industry here in the state have given us donations that have allowed us to buy all of the awards. And also Greenwood Schwinn Cyclery in Greenwood donated the bicycles at a discount. And the Think First program at Methodist Hospital was a wonderful contributor. They donated all of the helmets to the winners, plus all of the helmets for the watermelon. And that's where we got the original idea.
I see. And I imagine, because as you mentioned, the helmets did their job, and I think we need to lightly touch on that. The helmets broke. That's what they're supposed to do.
Yes, they did.
Yes.
And then we have to throw them away, and that's also impressive to the children. If your helmet's broken, don't wear it. Throw it in the trash and go get a new one.
And that's exactly what you should be doing with it. So next year's contest, now we can give everybody a little heads up for next year. It's going to start again when, in February?
February is when the information goes out, and the actual judging is done in mid-April.
Okay.
So if they don't hear anything from their principals, they should go up to them and ask them where the information is.
Okay, so they will be able to participate in it next year. They'll be able to send in their posters.
That's right.
And it's been growing each year.
Yes.
So what do you expect? What are you hoping to get? Maybe 3,500 or 4,000
Oh,
next
if we
year?
could double the 3,000, we would
Yes.
love it.
That would be wonderful. They get great awards. They get a mountain bike, a safety helmet. Their winning poster is framed, and then also the school receives a plaque of recognition. So there's a lot at stake here.
Now, speaking of, it's framed. Do they ever get? Will these young folks get these back?
The winners receive their posters back. They're
They
set
get
in
it
a
back.
very nice frame with an engraved plaque.
Okay, so that goes to them, doesn't go to
Yes,
the school.
yes.
So that's
What
something
you-
that they'll cherish.
What you have is really a magic replica that's duplicated somehow through a photographic technique, but the actual poster has been returned to the child framed and matted with a little
Oh, good.
Yes.
So they've
award.
already got it back.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I very much appreciate your time being here. Again, our guests have taken time from their schedule to be here. And remember, whether it's a bicycle or a car, buckle up. The life you save may be your own. Bye-bye.